though I never wanted you another way. But baby, it's been on my mind, and you know my face can't hide it. So take my hand and hear me when I say, don't you know that I'll be there for you, with a love to get you through the night, yeah. And I'll be there for you when everything is out of sight. You got it, baby. One more time, you got to get it right and walk it while it's life with you. And honey, if you die, then I'ma get you by. But come on, baby, die.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Industry Pro Podcast. My name's Adam. Hopefully everybody's doing well today. Today is episode 80. Holy cow, we're creeping up there. And today I'm excited to be chatting with Rockne Van Meter of Redwood Brewing. Just a couple of pieces of news before we get started. If you are Ohio adjacent and interested in coming to the Ohio Craft Brewers Conference, which is going to be January 26th through the 28th in Dayton, get registered, get out there, go over to the OCBA website, sign up. I'm going to be giving a talk on recipe creation and attending. So come say hey to me. Also, make sure to jump over to adammakesbeer.com. This is your home base for all the goods when it comes to Adam Makes Beer. All the info, the blog stuff, my list of services, whether it be on the consultation, the media side, all that good stuff. But speaking of all that good stuff, starting a brewery is a big step. Blickman Engineering is here to help. Since 2006, they've equipped hundreds of nanobreweries for success. Their new 3.5-barrel Pro Surface electric brewing system cuts maintenance and saves at least 30 minutes per brew with powerful under kettle heating. From 1 to 15-barrel brew houses to keg washers and grain mills, Blickman has what you need. Ready to go pro? Contact Phil or Tom at proseries@blickmanengineering.com. Blickman Engineering is a proud sponsor of this channel and loves to help brewers at every stage of their journey. Today's guest is Rockne Van Meter, who began his professional brewing career in 2002. He studied his craft and became highly respected within the industry and is known for his dedication to making quality beer true to style. Rockne has held several brewing positions over the years, from Big Buck Brewing, Bastogne, and now Redwood Brewing in Michigan. After amassing, and this number is incorrect, and we'll get into that. I think it's incorrect. I think it's larger. But after amassing over 18 GABF and World Beer Cup awards, Rock was awarded with the highest honor in brewing in the brewing industry with the Brewers Association Brewer of the Year Award in 2014. Rock, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Adam. How are you?
Welcome back to the show.
Yes.
I think this is the trifecta. This is you were the first live stream ever, guest live stream.
Is that right?
Yeah. And it was a little bit of a it could have been smoother, you know, when you're trying out new technology. Things don't always go well. We have some audio and some video issues, but the audio is fully posted and everything like that. And we have just like a little bit of a still. You know what I mean? If you're watching on YouTube. Yeah.
We got great faces.
Well, okay. So the funny thing was, it's been a minute since you've been on the show. In the meantime, I added the show intro and everything. Mm-hmm. And something that a lot of people might not know about you is, I believe you tinker a little bit on the musical side of things. The guy that did that song, I met him at a conference, and I think he records all the different parts of it and then mixes it together.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's cool.
He was a sweet dude. Sweet dude. So anyways, yeah, that jogged in my memory. But so just off the top, how often do you pick up a guitar or an instrument during the course of a week?
Not very often. It's been a long time, actually. Being that the Beatles anthology thing came out again, they issued some. I think they put out a number 4 or something like that. And I'm a rather large Beatle fan, so I've been listening to the Beatles channel a lot recently on Sirius. and stuff. So just the other day, I was tinkering with some Here Comes the Sun and some other silliness.
Yeah.
Playing around. So, I mean, it's something that I don't want to ever lose. So I pick it
Yeah.
up like whenever I think about it.
Sure.
Just because it's, I have the urge all the time to, like, I'll hear Beatles stuff for the most part.
Mhm.
And want to just like recreate it because I've listened to it for, I don't know, we're close to 40 years now, probably just like straight away.
Sure.
Like that's the, I know every note of every tune.
Yeah.
And I've learned how to play pretty much all the instruments that play that stuff to play that stuff. So it's fun
Sure.
to play, and I don't know, for some reason it does something. So I do want to pick it up more often, but I just don't. I don't know why I should. I want to.
Yeah. This is my problem. Part of being an idiot is you want to sometimes ask like intelligent questions, but then part of your brain follows up, because I want to ask a question that digs a little bit deeper into that, but I'm also I'm finding the idiot in me has to ask, as a big Beatles fan, was there ever a period of your life where you rocked Beatles hair, like classic, like Beatlemania hair?
No, Beatlemania hair is that like the mop top, right?
Yeah.
I would say back when I had a lot more hair, I had more of the more the Lennon Let It Be hair, like it was just down.
Okay. Yeah.
And I love that.
Oh, really? You had like longer hair.
Oh yeah, it was here. It was shoulder length.
I don't know if I've ever seen that side of you before.
You would have tried to take me out for dinner or something.
I
got
believe
that.
that.
I know your type.
I believe that. But listen,
No.
listen. Here's the deal. This is what I was going to tell people. Getting in and doing a podcast like this with a dear friend, with a great brewer. For me, this is the kind of podcast that makes me like. It makes me want to cut weight. It makes me want to get better. You know what I mean? Like I want to level up for it. Because one, I was telling somebody the other day, you're one of you make me laugh maybe almost as much as anybody in the industry. When we jump on phone calls, we have a good time. We chat it up. We do some laughing.
For sure.
And yeah. It's always good. So spinning off of this, I was going on to the Redwood website to look at some of the beers that you guys have on, and you have a big section on your awards and a little bit of your bio and whatnot. You have, first of all, you've just been crushing it on the competition front. And I noticed, especially this last year, you have a lot of beers with very lovely names attached to them. And I was wondering, like, if at some point was there, maybe the Hellas, something like that. Is there ever going to be a beer named after me? Or
yeah. Yeah.
First of all, I don't know if I've ever had somebody just flat out agree with me and also have it feel so dismissive. All right, I'll say that. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's
No problem, man. Next.
I know. I was conflicted because the words themselves were what I wanted to hear, but something about it made me feel really bad about myself.
No problem, Adam. I'll get right to it.
Sure thing, pal. Sure thing, pal. So
You know what? I'll do my best to see if I have one that's I have a pretty good feeling about. I'll slap it in there. I've already done the ones for the beer cup. So when maybe the beer expo in Frankenmuth, I'll try to do something there. Maybe I'll name everything like Adam makes beer, number 1, 2, 3, and then I'll send you stuff. Maybe, hopefully.
I would like that. I would like that. I do need to come up, and we do need to. I do need to come up. I was chatting with your lovely wife, but before we went live, and I do need to. She was saying I need to get up there. I do need to get up there. I need to get up there and make some beer with you. I actually have. Yeah. I'm going to be doing some traveling here coming up to be making some beer. I'm going to be going out to I went out to Harrisburg, PA for the Brewers of PA conference last month. And that was a lot of fun. And I'm going to be going out and brewing with Malik and Hannah, a couple of people that I've had on the podcast. So we'll be going out and doing a brew day with them. I've got some wheels turning on maybe doing something out on the West Coast. But I mean, what if I'm gonna be going around, you know, if I'm gonna go toward the East Coast, go to the West Coast, why not go to the best coast and go to Michigan? So we might have to dial it up at some point. You know what I mean?
For sure. Let me know when you're going to be or when you want to be. And
for sure.
For sure. I got some Barca Pills for you.
You know me.
I'm going to be making a house with Barca Pills, and I know that you were a big, giant fan of the Barca Pills. So maybe, I don't know, if you're going to be around for that one.
You have been, you run a lot of standard Wireman pills, right? You have a silo fill with Wireman, or have you switched that up?
I have switched that up just because of obviously costs and stuff.
Sure.
I've gone around. I did have a silo of Wireman pills. Now I have it's Belgo pills. It's I don't know where the hell it's. I know it's a European thing. It's the guy told me that it's the same malt that like Duvel uses and
sure
all those guys. So it's a European.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's a German malt or if it's a Belgian pills, but I don't care either way.
Have you turned batches with that? What have you noticed kind of difference wise between this what do you say, Belgo pills and then the Wireman pills? What were some of the differences you noticed?
Not a whole lot, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot. I mean, I don't know if I would be able to tell the difference side by side between, the Helles from the Wireman to that. I mean, it's not like it's a, like a Southern Hemisphere grain or something. I mean, they're relatively close.
Yeah.
Geographically, it's not like it's on a different planet or something.
And then, so do you find that performance-wise, because sometimes it's the little things when I'm switching to a new base malt. Sometimes it's even like when I'm watching the kettle, like the protein break that I get in the kettle can be different. When I go from maltster to maltster, was there anything like that you've seen, or it just seems to be performing relatively the same for you?
It's pretty much the same.
Love it.
There wasn't any. I could take the same recipes that I was using and just plug in the Belgo pills. There was no like drop in OG or
sure. Or, that's a good feeling.
Different. It was pretty much exactly the same. I mean, I know inherently it's not, but
sure. Who are you going through for supplier? Is that a BSG thing?
Yeah.
Or did you go through somebody else now?
No, BSG. They're the because they have the Wireman stuff.
Yep.
And they have I mean, I get Wireman, whatever the hell you want to call it, and pretty much that and Dingemans. So they have everything. I don't use. I might get a bag of Fawcett here and there for a stout or something, but I'm only using Belgian and German malt for every beer, light to the triple to whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it makes a lot of sense. You make a lot of beers in that vein, even when you do, because I was looking through the range of beers that you've been winning medals with, and I mean it's anything from lager to Belgian styles, and even sweet stout, cream stout, milk stout. What do you call it between the three? I can't remember.
I think it's a sweet stout.
Sweet stout. Okay.
I don't like any of the names. Cream stout. Yeah. Cream stout makes a little more sense because of the lactose concept. Sweet stout is sweet, and it's not. I mean, a milk stout. Okay. I mean, I don't know why the hell there's so many names for one beer. It's just
there is. I mean, cream stout was one of that style was one of my first. That was a big style for me when I first started really dipping into craft beer, because for me, I had been in situations where like I bowed to social pressure, and I forced myself to drink Guinness when I was like 22 or something like that. Yeah. You're out with the boys and you're going to an Irish pub, and it's not an Irish pub, but you know what I mean.
Sure. Yeah.
It's Bennigan's, it's close enough, and so you get
Bennigan's. Holy cow! I haven't heard that word in a
I
long
thought
time.
you'd like that. And you've always been good for 90s to mid 2000s restaurant humor. So
Oh, yeah.
I thought I could trust you with that one. But
It's my sweet spot. Yeah.
so, you get this pint of Guinness. And, at that point, for me, if I was drinking something, that was full flavored, I'm drinking Labatt's or something.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you get that Guinness. And for me, I was choking it down. And then when I got into craft beer and I found that milk stout, cream stout, whatever you want to call it, both it was left hand, obviously, as the U.S. example, but then you could also get Mackeson's, which was a UK example, and they were both on the classic example side of things. And that was such an eye opener for me, because I was always so used to the concept of stout being dry, bitter, very roasty, and especially for my palate at that point, right?
Yeah.
But then
yeah.
getting into sweet stout, it's like, oh wait, this is a whole different thing, because you have that concept of, oh, it's going to be dark, strong, bitter, whatever, you know what I mean? So that beer was a big light bulb beer for me. Are you like a fan of cream stout personally? Do you drink it?
No, neither. I mean, I make it.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I like the nitro stout. You didn't talk about the Guinness kind of thing. I like the nitro stouts are fantastic because they're light.
Yeah.
I mean they're super light beer.
Yeah.
And they don't have any bubbles. I mean they're all the nitro stuff is non-carbonated, so it doesn't fill you up, and it's subtle. I like subtlety.
Yeah.
I don't need like crazy 5 different wheels of flavor for my beers. I like that. So the sweet stout thing, no, I'm not a big fan of it. It's too heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, the flavors are fine, but the weight is too much. I don't.
Yeah.
One beer and then you're stuffed. I don't. That's just too much for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I don't know. When I first started drinking, it was. I think that those styles of beer are great for the newcomer, because they are chocolate and things like that. And kind of cool. They're dark. They're rebellious against a pilsner.
Yeah.
In color alone, So I think those are. But after a while, no. I mean, when I first started drinking, it was Bell's pretty much was a big part of it, and their cherry stout was fantastic back then to me, and also the double cream stout I thought was really good. But no, I think I bought a 6 of double cream within the last year, and it was good. But it took me a month to drink them. I mean, I'm not going to sit down and throw down a 6-pack of stout.
Sure. Off the top of my head, that's like an 8% beer, I think, right? Maybe. I think it's around
cream?
there. Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was more like a 5 to 6, like a sessionable beer, but.
Oh, really? Maybe it is. I could be. It's been. I mean, shoot, I haven't even lived there in 5 years. So what do I know? But yeah, I seem to. Yeah. but I have. That was a style that I liked early on, and it was, and I do think it was because that elevated sweetness does make it like it's easier. It's easier. It can be easier drinking, or at least blunting a little bit on the on the bitterness side of things. But so kind of for sure the flip side of this, and we're kind of jumping around a little bit, because this is where my brain went, because I was thinking about these beers with high residual sweetness. When you do cream stout, where do you like that thing to finish out at? Do you like it really high? Like when I would compete with that style really high, when I was home brewing, I would go like, and it would actually irritate me.
Finish it like 1070.
Bro, listen, do you know what used to drive me crazy was the more I pushed up the residual sweetness when I was brewing that style at home, the better it did in competition. Like, and like, I felt like it was even to the point where, like, okay, maybe it presents well in a 2-ounce pour, but you can't tell me that this is the best presentation for this beer in a pint. You know what I mean? Like to have to drink the whole thing. And competition and just enjoying a beer are 2 different things, I think, on one level. At least, that's an opinion I would have. But
they're very different.
But yeah. What are your thoughts on how they're different?
Well, like I said, one is you can stomach 2 sips, 3, 4, 5
Yeah.
sips of a beer, and
Yeah.
analyze it because you're doing it for the sake of analyzation and things like that. But yeah, sitting down with a pint of something that you wouldn't want to have 5 ounces of is
Sure.
impossible.
Yeah.
But if you're going, if you're judging sours or something, which I can't do, but I mean, I could take a few sips of them, but I'm not going to sit down and have a pint. I'll be dying for the next 3 days.
Yeah.
And one is for
Yeah.
enjoyment, and the other one is for analytical purposes, and those two don't match to me.
Absolutely.
I mean, they do
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure when you have sat down for a beer, it's a very quick analyzation. Like, oh, it smells good. That's a very brief and it's a second nature kind of thing.
Sure.
Okay, this is good. It passes.
Yeah.
For me drinking the rest of it, but you're not going to sit there and analyze, how many IBUs or the color of it, or whether it's filtered for the next 25 minutes while you're having a beer.
Sure.
And if you are, put the damn thing down and get the hell out of here. I mean, really, what a drag.
Well, kind of talking about, drinking beers, checking out different beers. I know that you took a trip to Germany this year, and you were able to hit up some different breweries and whatnot. I do have to say it's certainly I'm going to put this out here right now. I think there should be an age limit on bucket lists. Okay. Sometimes I hear younger people saying what's on their bucket list, and I don't like that. Okay, I'm close to 50. I feel like I can start compiling one. All right.
Okay.
But when you're 22, you don't have a bucket list.
You don't think you should have one at all?
I don't think you should have one at all. Just listen. Just get it together.
Right.
Okay. That's
Right.
number one. Like let's get it together. Let's actually get off the runway here and start taking flight.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've worked with some younger folks, and they were very consumed with their bucket list, but they couldn't manage to wash their own clothes. So, but doing something like going to Germany, being able to hit up different breweries, have access to those different beers in that space is something that I've always wanted to do. What were some of the highlights of that, man? How many were you able to do? Did you have any goals? Were you able to get access to the beers that you wanted to have access to?
Yeah, the goals were for me were to go to the major breweries that I like, beer from. So you had, Spaten Spaten, Hacker, Weinstefaner. Geez, I can't think of all of them. There was 6 or 7.
Did you get to Hacker Shore?
I didn't get to the brewery. I got in Marienplatz is a place where it's like it's a square, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it has a bunch of restaurants and then Glockenspiel and all this jazz. Mm-hmm. So like all of the Hofbrauhaus, all that shit. Hofbrauhaus and Freising, which is by Weinstefaner. But in the Marienplatz, it's like a square, and so a lot of them are represented there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of what the hell's the name of that. The one in the Alps, or near the Alps. But anyway, there's like 6 of them in there.
Sure.
So I mean, we went to some of the restaurants and some of the the Hacker House is the original, apparently the original Hacker Shore joint. So we went there. We went to the giant Hofbrauhaus with the huge. I mean, it's a huge joint.
Yeah.
So we went to all those places and had all their beers. We were there for 7 days.
Yeah.
Just stayed in Munich. The concept for me was I don't want to travel while I'm traveling, and then come home and vacation. I mean, I'm going across the pond to go to a certain spot and enjoy the ambiance and the way that it is over there. So that's kind of what we did. I had, they call them Weiss beer over there. That's not Hefeweizen. There's no real Hefeweizen. Schneider Weiss, that's another one. But it was a pretty fantastic time over there. It was pretty interesting. just the culture with the beer and the food and all of it, really. Hearing people, talk German, they can all speak English.
Sure.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was a good time. We went to every place we wanted to go to.
Yeah. So I know you're a big fan of Weiss beer, Hefeweizen. You make one yourself, and I know you're a student of it as well. So you've had the beers imported and everything like that. What's the difference between getting that Hefeweizen in the bottle, pouring it into your Weiss beer glass, swirling it up, getting everything in there, drinking that beer, as opposed to getting that beer served to you on draft in Germany?
To me, the ones in Germany were like a more subdued banana flavor. Excuse me. It was more of a banana clove kind of concept. But American-made ones are all they're banana bombs, which I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones over there were very balanced. There is no like, oh, this is huge banana. It's super balanced. I didn't drink any Hefeweizen out of a bottle over there. Everything I had was on draft, except for one bottle of Helles on the last day we were there, which was the best beer I ever had over there.
Really?
It was insane. Yeah, it was a bottle of Hackershore Helles. We got it at Aldi, and walking down the street, drinking a beer, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's the best beer I've ever had in my life!" And it was a Helles. Helles to me is a boring style, but that turned my head, man. I was like, "Holy shit!" Now I understand what the hell a Helles is. That was it. That one beer. I'm walking down with a Hackershore Hell, and it blew my mind. I was like, "Wow, this is insane." It tasted.
That's awesome.
When you're in the brew house, and it smells like when you're making a beer.
Yeah.
That's what it tasted like. I was like, holy shit, because I've never had a Helles taste like that before.
Yeah.
But as far as the Hefeweizen goes, they were all pretty subdued. They weren't high levels of. I was expecting beer that I got over here to be different than beer that I got over there, and actually, it's not that much different. The Hefeweizen.
In what regard do you mean?
Flavor, aroma. I mean, it's not like it goes on a boat for 6 months and comes over here or whatever, and it tastes totally different. I mean,
sure.
Some beers, if it sits for a while, but most of the beers that I've had over here, if you check the dates and everything on them, and that they're fresh and they're within their deal, taste very similar to what I had over there.
Sure.
I wasn't expecting anything. I wanted to go over there to see what it was.
Yeah.
But that was that was different to me.
Yeah, the hef thing to me is so interesting because I think there's, first of all, especially the two of us as brewers from the United States, we get beer imported. We have like our perceptions of what these beers are. So even when we drink, sometimes what would be classic, what would even be considered, classic versions of the style, it can be the American version, and it can have another angle on it. So I think that's interesting when you were talking about the phenol to ester balance in that Hefeweizen, with it being more balanced with what they're doing over there. Did you still find, so even though the banana clove balance was more 50-50, did you find that the quality of the banana character and the quality of the phenol character was similar to what you generate in those beers, or what other area brewers create in those beers? Or did you feel like there was some difference in the individual expression of those? Am I making sense?
Yeah, I think so.
Because Well, because it's one thing to have like the intensity of each one, right?
Yeah,
So you can dial those, but the actual quality of each, the flavor quality of each one of those, did you find them similar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I found them pretty similar. I mean, yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't crazy. I mean, there are some. I've made a few. What I think what happens is I think a lot of brewers screw around with me included, have. And after that trip, I wish I would have gone there as a professional brewer, knowing that I want to do this for a while. I should have gone over there 25 years ago.
I know, dude.
And tasted stuff. And then I can come back knowing what it's supposed to be as opposed to having the shit around here. And being like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Because it's so backwards. Like, Fatheads in Ohio. They win gold medals and shit for their Hefeweizen, which is fantastic, but it tastes nothing.
Yes.
It tastes
correct.
like a Hefeweizen. It's a great beer.
Yes.
It's a totally different style.
Yep.
But going over there and having their stuff, I wish I would have gone over there, like I said, a couple decades ago, so I would know what to actually make when it comes to the German style stuff. But the flavor profiles of the beers and the yeast coming out, the representation coming out of fermentation, it's if you elevate the temperature, right? You do if you manipulate the yeast and stuff, it's going to create weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
But at the root of it, it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
I've fermented at between 62 and 75, and you get over the course of years of making the Weiss beer, and you get different stuff come out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the core, closer to 70-ish, you get more of an authentic representation of what you taste over there, and even less because it's not like you have the same clove banana, but it's an 8 out of 10. It's like a 3 out of 10. It's not this huge thing. I mean,
I was that's the other thing I was about to ask because we've had this conversation before so when I did that brew day with Market Garden in Cleveland, we brewed their Hefeweizen and we were having this conversation over the phone about it. So of course I didn't drink the beer, but I can smell it, and I'm like, okay, to me this is like the two elements were in balance, and they were not like up here. They were like they were like folded in and like folded in with like the breadiness, like light breadiness of the malt and everything like that. And so I always like to. Hef is an interesting one to discuss because it's a yeast forward, it's a yeast forward beer, which you actually. A lot of beer styles that you like to do are yeast forward, so it's such a big component of it, and it's just interesting because there's so many different ways to handle that. So for you said that your preference is the way that you brew it, being more banana forward, which is obviously fine, right? After going over and drinking those beers, does that compel you? Because I do know you're a style guy. Does that compel you to want to change the hef that you make?
Yeah, and I have, and I do. Yeah. I don't like. I'm not
Rockne Van Meter. You are so malleable. I love it. I just love watching life form you.
Yeah,
you're like a rock under the babbling brook. You know what I mean?
It takes time, but it'll happen.
Is there a sharp edge over here that wants a little bit more banana character in my hef? Baby, just wash it away. I love it. I love watching this. This is one of those questions that like I'm actually like really genuinely interested because that's when it hit me. I'm like, oh shoot. I mean, he prefers it this way. So you've been tweaking it. How many times have you turned Hefeweizen since you've brewed Hefeweizen since you've come back?
Probably, I think 2.
Okay.
2. I mean, I've only been back since maybe.
Sure. Yeah.
I think maybe once. I brewed one right before I left, and this was in August.
Yep.
So I'm making 10-barrel batches, so I'm not brewing it. I'm not selling 500 barrels of Hefeweizen. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 barrels of Hefeweizen. Sure. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it. 10 beers on tap. But no, I brewed it since then, I believe. And the changes are, minimalistic. I had a bunch of stuff in there, like Carahel, and because I was looking at the recipes for the Fatheads thing, because I love that beer, or it's a good beer, and I wanted to emulate that.
Sure.
For competition stuff, and just to make a good banana forward
Sure.
beer. So I had like Cara Wheat and Carahel, and I had all this. The grain bill was, 5-6 deep, and it's really 2, maybe I think it's 3. Like Weihenstephaner uses a 60 wheat, 20 pills, 20 Munich.
Yeah.
So that's my new grain bill.
Yeah.
Because that's all you need. All that other stuff is not needed. It's just not needed. So that's the new grain bill. Yeast or hop is obviously way low. It's always been way low for me for that, because you want the expensive nature of the yeast. And then ABV actually has gone up for me. It used to be like 5.2, but I find you get more yeast expression from like 5.5%.
Okay.
So I've gone up to 5.5. And then the mash temp has gone up, because I want a little more residual sugar. So it used to be like at 150, because I wanted the thinner body, blah blah blah. But stylistically, in the Brewers Association stuff, it's a medium to full body beer. So I started like 155, 156, and I'm still toying with it.
Sure.
To get this, and obviously, the flavor of the beer is the yeast, right? And then there's the pitching rate and aeration issue. So aeration is done just by eye. When you open up the stone and you just got to look at it. I have a DO meter, but what the hell? I can't. You can't do that shit. You have to monitor like, it's 78 gallons. Fuck that. So I know, like, visually when I look at it, because you gotta bleed off beer for that thing to work. It's not an inline unit,
Yep.
And then I'm working on yeast ratio, I guess, barrel to liter. That's and I used to go about a third. And now I am. I think I'm going to go about half. I think it's a better. It doesn't stress the yeast as much, and I think creates a cleaner, heavy, or vice beer profile.
Sure.
As opposed to being stressed and then gets all that weird shit out of it. I think that's where I have gone wrong in the past is, you're supposed to get that banana clove thing and you have to stress the shit out of the yeast. And I think that creates other off flavors that muddy the whole water.
Sure.
Beer.
Well, I do think, I think sometimes when we think about our fermentations, I remember when I first started making beer, it was drilled into my head pretty early that, okay, when I was making beer at home, that I'm going to buy the freshest yeast that I can, and I'm going to prop it up. And I'm going to prop it up for my appropriate pitching rate. And I'm going to pitch that when it's nice and active. And it paid a lot of dividends for me as a new home brewer. You know what I mean? Because when I first started home brewing, really the first 2 things that I learned was, the first 3 things was I needed to learn how to be clean and sanitary, which I'm pretty good at. Fermentation temperature control, and then yeast pitching rate and yeast health stuff. So that was like stuff that was built into like my programming very early, even as a home brewer. But the yeast side of thing with hef is, the more you learn as you move through your brewing career, there's obviously other factors, and you mentioned some of it. There's the aeration. There's pitching rate, all that stuff. And you've helped me with kind of an overall approach change, because I actually had issues with sulfur with various Hefeweizen yeast strains. And there's probably a couple reasons for that. But after talking to some different yeast guys, whether it be Dr. Matt Winans from Fermentus, or when I talked with Richard Priest from Escarpment, they were both talking about lower pitching rates with that, not or non-typical, you know what I mean? Non-typical pitching rates with that. Do you find that that's a strain that is also that you can use a little bit more or less oxygen on? What's your experience been as far as that goes?
I've always oxygenated. Is that the right term?
Yeah, I think so.
Like the last 3 barrels out of a 10 barrel.
Yeah.
I've never done like the whole thing.
Yep.
I'll wait till after I do the yeast thing, and then if that doesn't work, then I'll do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Carve it up and then and then do it that way. But more or less, I mean, it's all a guessing game. To be honest,
sure.
I mean, I'll put the measuring. I have like a stick in there. I'd rip off a tree and jam it in there, and then they'll tell me where it is. And I've done it that way for 20 plus years. So I don't, I mean, I haven't been brewing heavy for 20 plus years, but I brewed that style over the course of 20. Now I have it on the menu at Redwood, so it's something that I do much more often. But the oxygen, I don't know. I mean, you have to have oxygen, obviously, for yeast health and all that jazz.
Sure.
But I don't know how much it does. Tom Majorosi over in Germany, he's a brewer, the head brewer for the brewmaster for Eichbaum in Mannheim, and I've talked with him extensively about this. I've sent him recipes. He's like, "Hey, do this, do that. Don't do this. Don't do this." And he's sent me like, "Boom, here is a recipe. Like, do this, and you'll be fine."
Yeah.
And never at all has oxygen been
interesting.
Mentioned. And I've said to him like everything. Like I walk in the door, I shut the door. Like I go through every tiny step. And it just blows over like whatever. And so I don't know if it's that big of an issue. And every time I've read stuff on it, it's never mentioned. All yeast places that I have read. Now that I said that, I don't know if I use Y yeast for that strain, the 3068. I think they have authentic yeast strains. I don't need White Labs does not. They may say they do, but their 300 is not. It's not the same.
Yeah.
As 3068. But I don't know of any yeast company that at least writes it down to starve oxygen.
Sure. Sure.
So I don't know if that's an issue. I don't know if I should do that or not, but I will for a while.
Well, you had mentioned that at least you did have one Helles. Now listen, I tried not to allow tears. I did try
That's
to.
The only beer I had in the bottle.
I did have to hold back tears when you told me that Helles was boring, because it felt like it used to be. Okay.
It used to be.
Did you drink any lager on draft when you were there? Yeah. Pills. Okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
So pills.
Sabrina
only Helles and a thing. What about Sabrina?
Sabrina drank Weiss beer the whole time.
Yeah.
But you go, Weiss. I'm like, okay, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But when I was there, I tried out every one they had. So I mean, as many Hefs or Weiss beers as I had the same amount of Helles. I had dark lager, the Dunkels, all that jazz.
Was there anything that surprised you when you were drinking the lager? So you're ordering the pills, like you said, pills, Dunkel, Helles, whatever. Did you ever get one in front of you and you're like, oh, hey, wait, or I didn't expect that? Was there anything
they did
like
this
that?
Wrong? I was like, oh, they did this wrong.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know.
I don't know about this one. You know what I would? I went to the brewer and I'm like, you know what I would do?
I don't know if you guys have heard of crystal malt, but listen, let's
heavy on the crystal malt, maybe a touch of roast just to give it that color. You guys are, I don't know. Take some notes. No, nothing. But I didn't go in there. I didn't go there with the concept of critiquing. I went there with the concept of this is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right. This is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I'm taking it in. What is it supposed to be? This Helles is this. This is what it's supposed to be. This is what a Dunkelweiss. That was it wasn't anything. No judgment. All just taking it in and see how they differed from, and they didn't differ much from place to place. Augustiner. People always rave about Augustiner, and rightfully so. Place was the place was fantastic. Sabrina and I, when we were there, it was right off the plane. We went to the hotel room and then went there for like 8 or 9 hours.
Yeah.
And stumbled back from that place. But the Helles it's a clean. You just taste grain, which is fantastic. A little bit of bitterness. It's not too crazy.
Yeah.
But no, when I was over there, I tried every beer that they had. When we would go to Spaten House or when we took the tour at Spaten, and you go up to the top of this big giant tower, you overlook the whole city, and they just feed you beer and they give you a Lieberkäse and all this stuff and pretzels.
What's Lieberkäse?
It's called it's liver cheese is what the Lieberkäse, but it's like a baked pate. And it's in the form of like a loaf pan, like a the shape of like Wonder Bread, like a slice.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. It's ridiculous. And it's a staple over there. It's great. And the pretzel thing, but all the beers were they were okay.
Rockne Van Meter, don't make me.
It was fantastic. Every beer was served in its own glass too, and there's a thing to that. So it makes them they take that stuff quite seriously over there. But no, Helles was unbelievable. All of them were great, and I came back. The only bottled beer I had was that one bottle of Hacker Hell, and it blew my mind because it did not taste like the beer coming from the tap, which is kind of weird. I don't know, because it tasted like maybe we were walking through Munich, and just a par 3 away is Spaten Brewhouse. So I don't, you smell, they're brewing all the time, so you smell that in the air. But when I was drinking it, it tasted like that smelled. And it wasn't just because I was smelling the air.
Yeah.
It was actually, I was like, holy shit. Like I remember stopping and taking a couple sips and being like, what's going on here? This is not normal for me anyway. This is, especially with the last day. We're like getting ready to pack, and the best beer I have is the last day. Yeah. It was a Helles, which is a style that I was bored with. Like, okay, it's a gold lager, and now it makes total sense to me. And on my kegerator, I have the NA Helles. I made an NA Helles, and then I have a Helles, and on tap I have a nice beer for Sabrina.
Sure,
that's kind of my go-to beer now. It's it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. If I ever did a trip like this, I think I would find myself in one of those places, in one of those breweries, and it would not be alcohol fueled, but I would cry. Yeah. I would cry just being there drinking those beers.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I felt that way a little bit. It was super humbling.
Oh, I like that. Well, tell me about that.
Well, I mean, this is what we do, right? We've been doing it.
This is what we do. Exactly. Yes.
We do.
Yes.
We've been doing it a long time, and then you go, to the mecca of beer. I mean, I'm 50. If I was 25 or whatever, I probably, maybe I would. I don't know. Felt that way about it, but it was a humbling experience going over there. And just being there around, and maybe being old enough to be able to put all that into this is what it's supposed to be concept, as opposed to having an opinion about it.
Yeah.
And it's not I didn't go over there and party. I don't think. I mean, I probably didn't have more than 4 or 5 beers a day.
Yeah.
I didn't go over there except for the first day. Which I
sure. Yeah.
That's why. But I didn't go over there to party and get hammered, and I went over there and enjoyed my time, with Sabrina and stuff, which we did. And whenever we were at a brewery, I'd get a few beers, and then we'd go back to the hotel. And we walked around that city all damn day.
Sure.
I mean, literally, we probably walked a trillion miles.
Yeah.
Literally,
Yeah.
like
Literally 1 trillion.
yeah, literally, like
1 trillion.
Like I had to buy new shoes.
I'm the low. I'm the low end.
Yeah, that's giving
at least. Yeah, man. That's awesome. And I do think I'm going to be interviewing Tanya Cornett on Monday, and I was doing some background stuff on her, and she was in a movie that came out pre-pandemic. It was just this kind of beer geek movie. I forget what the name of it is off the top of my head. But anyways, and in part of this movie, she goes to Germany and is going to some of these different breweries. She goes to Weinstefan and, talking to these different people and drinking these beers on tap. And it is always when you said humbling, it's funny because I do think that that's the I do think that that's the correct posture, right? Like I got that feeling. One of the things I enjoyed about watching her portion of the movie was you can tell pretty quickly how passionate people are about what they're doing when it's surrounding things like this.
Yeah.
And it was cool to see her like really dialed in, like eyes open, like super engaged when they're walking through the stuff, the questions she's asking. And it's not, I guess it was a beer geek movie, but it wasn't like a brewer movie. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like there was a lot of hard hitting brewer technical stuff in there. But no, I do think that that's the right posture to have, as you're going to a place where this is where these things started, and these things that we've been aiming at for so long. So yeah. I remember when I went to because I went to Belgium for a long weekend, Friday to Monday. Which is a ridiculous concept, but anyways, it was great. It was a lot of fun. And so day one, we landed and then went to Cantillon. Got back day 2. We took the train out to West Vletteren. So we took the train out to a little town called Poperinge, and then we rode, but we rented bikes and rode out to the monastery. Nice. Granted, it was January, like idiots. But it's what you would do in the summer. It was warmer for us, but anyways, so we did that day 2. Day 3, we went to Bruges, just because we had seen the movie in Bruges, and it was the only other thing that we knew about Belgium. And then on Monday we went home. But I remember having the experience at Cantillon of just like being overwhelmed by the culture, the history, the family element of it. Because when I went there, I was able to I met the brewmaster Jean, and his sister was actually our server. It was all very cool. It was just kind of like a big intense experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so you had your 6 days on the ground there.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one beer from that vacation, maybe it was the Hellas in the bottle. One beer from that vacation that you could have in perpetuity, just always available to you. Which one would it be?
I don't know. It would be up in Freising somewhere. It would either be the Weinstefaner Hefeweizen or Hofbrauhaus Weiss beer.
Sure.
Sure. I mean, those were great. Those places, ambiance and everything, and just the building and the scenery, and everything was awesome. The Weinstefaner was impressive.
Yeah,
to say the least. It was impressive. Just
I bet.
Crazy. They did everything right because they got food and then their beer garden and everything, and the way that it works, and the beer was great. The view was great. Getting there is interesting, in a good way. I mean, it's just a train ride, from downtown Munich.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I thought maybe you were talking about like as far as the flight or whatever like that. I see.
No, you get off the train and you got to walk about maybe 15 or some minutes, and it's all up.
Yeah.
So I mean, you earn your beer.
Yeah.
But it was just that place was fantastic. When we went there, the weather was couldn't be better. 80
Sure.
degrees, 75, 80, and not hot, just like nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, this is going to be like a very U.S. centric type question. So I don't know. So was the infrastructure there, was the architecture there old, or was it post-war? So that shows my lack of knowledge a little bit, because when I went to Belgium, when we went to different places, there was a lot of there were buildings standing that were older than our country. You know, and that was a trip.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was it like that there? Because obviously, you know, 2 world wars, and you know the century we were born in. So was it like old school architecture, or was it newer in the areas where you were?
Well, I mean, all the churches. I don't think that they bombed the churches. There's a lot of churches.
Yeah.
There's a lot of churches. So those
and are they Catholic or Methodist churches?
I think they're Catholic.
Okay.
For the most part, St. Michael's and
okay,
all that jazz.
Yeah,
I think that's Catholic.
Yeah.
The architecture it didn't seem like it had been rebuilt in the last 80 years.
Sure.
Things looked old, in a good way.
Yeah.
They had character, but I to be honest with you, I don't know. They didn't. I mean, everything. The streets and everything were pretty narrow. Like when you get down outside the Marienplatz, and then you have like the Opera House, and then across the street, 100 feet is Hacker, and then 300 feet. But they're buildings.
Yeah.
So I don't. And they say, oh, this is the original place, and here and there, and they're old as hell. So I don't think that. I would think that if that was to be destroyed, they would have widened the streets.
Yeah. All right, well, Rock. So listen, I am in general. I'm a little bit of a sensitive instrument. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So like,
I know this.
I have my sensitivities, right? Food sensitivities. All right. I have my emotional sensitivities. I already told you that just being there, I would probably cry.
Yeah.
Is one of the things that I just love thinking about, even, and I start to like get like the charge of it, is like, do you have like that? Is there like that feeling of being somewhere when you're there? Like whether it's like an ambiance thing or like just a feel of like an older city, does it have that feeling like you're somewhere else, or just drinking in some city in the U.S.?
No, it felt like you were in Germany to me.
Mm-hmm.
No, it didn't feel like I was in Philadelphia or
Sure.
something. It's an older city,
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it did to me. It had that vibe. Like when I was there, I knew I was there. Like just looking around, and I tried to make sure that I took all of that in. You know what I mean? Instead of being like, well, I'm just here I'm going to have some beers and walk. I want to take all of that in. Go into these small buildings and like small little shops, and be like, okay, this has probably been here forever. Walking down the streets and you're looking around, you see this old church, and 80 yards away is another giant church that's old as dirt. So no, the ambience to me was it was an old town, and it was a beautiful town, city.
There is.
Whatever the hell.
There is something that I feel like you can miss, and this is totally not the same thing, but this is something that I love. I visited some buddies of mine out in Annapolis, and it's right on the water. And what I love, and this is just like the small things, but like there's all these little like townhouses, like the old school townhouses that are kind of right on the water. And like some of these houses don't even have right angles on them. You know what I mean? Like we're so used to all of the doors being like everything's uniform now, everything's square, but like you see some of those older buildings where it's like, dude, I don't know what's like. I don't know. If
it's like a Tim Burton
little
movie.
Yeah, like a Tim Burton,
or
right?
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
It's funny. I love when you can see stuff like that. That kind of predates the I don't know, the mass produced everything. But anyways, yeah, I always love things like this. I did want to dip into this NA beer that you made, because Rock and I are always two guys that love to kind of talk about what we're doing in the brew house, what we're doing recipe wise, what we're trying to figure out. And we had some conversations surrounding this NA beer. So why don't you just kind of off the top give us like a little introduction to it, like what made you wanna do it, what were the ways that you went about making it happen, stuff like that.
I had a guy at the bar ask me if I made one because he
Mhm.
stopped drinking,
Mhm.
and I said no, and I thought that was ridiculous that I would make one because I don't.
Uh-huh.
I'm in the business of making beer, not making beer.
Sure.
But then I was like, whatever, I'll look into it, and I wanted to quit drinking as much beer as I was drinking because
Uh-huh.
I'm going to come home at nighttime, especially wintertime, even in summertime, just dinner and then have a few beers or cocktails, whatever, and
Sure.
talk with Sabrina and kids and all that jazz. But so I thought, for health reasons, I wanted to slow down on that. So I said, oh, well, I'll take a peek and see what it takes to make a beer like that. And there's a lot of different ways. You can distill it. You can, all these things that I don't have the ability to do.
Sure.
So I was like, well, that's not very good. And then there's a couple yeast strains, one from Lalamond and the other one from Fermentus. I believe that do NA beer strains or low alcohol, non-alcohol beer. They're dry yeast strains. So I thought, well, I'll give that a shot and just read more on that and see how to do it. So I did, and the yeast was pretty cheap. It was under $100 for to make a 10-barrel batch if I wanted to, just for the yeast.
Yeah.
So I went into conceptualizing what kind of beer would I make if I did. What do I want to drink? Because it's a total experiment. If it didn't work, it just goes down the drain, and who cares?
Sure. Yeah.
It's minimal grain, minimal expenditure, and it's just in the sake of science for me, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured Helles being a style that has been revived to me, I figured I'd make a Helles kind of that, and you can't hide behind Helles. You can't hide behind anything.
Yeah.
With that, so just to check and make sure everything was good, and those are the better ones to make for me. The ones where everything's out there to be critiqued.
Sure.
I want to know the flavor of the yeast. I want to know all that jazz. So I looked into how to make that and called around to a couple brewers that I thought would be able to help me with that. Nobody really could. I mean, nobody makes any beer, really.
Sure. Sure.
Real scale. So I just did some reading, some finger crossing, and went through, wrote a recipe, and went over the stages of how to make it. And then made the NA Helles style. That's pretty much the Helles. For the most part, it's a Helles recipe.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked to you actually, and you gave me. I used your tips on making that beer.
On the mash side, yeah.
On the mash side, the kettle full side, actually.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I was talking about. So yeah, because
I guess they could be the same.
We were chatting about it because one of the challenges of making a beer like this is you're essentially shooting for a 10 or like a 10-20 or a 5 Plato wort with that. That's what this yeast recommends, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
And so also, and I want to jump back to this right afterwards. I would like to highlight any resources that you found online that were beneficial. So you need a 10-20 starting wort, and what we were kicking around is it's like, dude, how do you even? That's the first thing that breaks my brain thinking about this equation is my liquor to grist ratio. Like, what am I even doing here? Like, because when you said you need a 10-20 wort, I'm like, oh no. And then it got me thinking about I used to, I forget where I got the idea from, but I obviously got it from somewhere. But when I would make small beers at home, and I've even done this some on the pro side, I would just make a denser, well, not super dense because it's first wort, but I would like make, like when I would make an English bitter, I would make like a 1060 wort in the mash tun. And then for the full volume, or not for the full volume, or 1060 wort for half the volume, louder that over into the kettle, and then just top it up, and cut it in half. And it seemed to make more sense than having that wild water ratio. I don't know how other people ended up doing that. But that type of concept ended up working out all right.
Yeah, it did. And I don't know, just to be clear, I'm not sure that yeast needs a 1020 wort. It just tells you that it's only going to ferment like nothing, like 5%. So I mean, if you want a heavy beer, whatever. I was shooting for that because I wanted to make a Helles at like 0.5%. So, and I didn't want a whole bunch of residual. I didn't want it to taste like wort when it was done.
Yes.
So that's why I want a real low residual sugar, blah blah blah, hops, that whole thing. But 1020 was the deal, and per your recommendation, I did do a kettle of 1040, which made the mash a lot easier, and it didn't have a whole lot of lautering to do for obvious issues of creating poor tasting beer in the kettle, especially with barely anything to hide it, alcohol or hops or in the body or any of that jazz. And then just cut it in half to 1020. Or like 10 to get to 1020. I got to like 1017, and then the boil was like 30 minutes. They call for some places call for 30 minutes. Some I think Fermentus has it just doing like a normal beer. Fermentus, their website just treated it like a normal beer, like upper 60s for 160 for a mash temp. I did like 185.
Okay, so you were high. Yeah.
I mean, most of them said like just you go past. you go
interesting.
past that. Because you're trying to not make alcohol. But the Fermentus one was different. People are interested in look at that, the NA Fermentus thing, and I didn't use that one because it's too risky. I didn't want to make a 1% beer or a 2. I wanted to make a you know what I mean. I wanted what I wanted. So the other places that I looked at, and I even believe that whatever the hell strain of the SA01, I think.
Okay.
No, I don't know what the hell it is. It's the 01 and LA01. Yeah,
one of those things you just named is Ozempic.
Ozempic.
I think so. Isn't that what are those things called? I think this is one of the same letter combos, something like that.
Yeah, that's why
maybe
I'm
GLP-1s, isn't that? I think that's what it is. I'd ferment a beer with it. I'd tell you that right now.
It probably would.
But it'll definitely lean a beer out. Wordplay. But yeah. So, what was from a resources standpoint? Was there one place that had like the best information, or the information that you ended up adhering to most closely, or got the most value out of?
I didn't find one that had the best. There's conflicting information all over the place, and there's old and there's new and there's all sorts of stuff. So it was. I had to sift through stuff and decide what I wanted what made sense, and then do it. But the yeast websites are the best places I would think to go, because then you can see what they say, and then you can use your own judgment as to what you want to do. But what's Fermentus and what the hell's the other one? Lalamont? Is that right?
Lalamont. I know Escarpment has info out on it as well.
I think I looked at them too. I looked at them, and I looked at just people writing stuff about it, blah blah blah. But you got to get everything. I mean, what the hell? It's a magic trick. I mean, I'm not trying to make an NA beer when I start off brewing. I want to make 80% alcohol. Now I'm making 0.25% alcohol.
Can I tell you something that I'm embarrassed by? And maybe I shouldn't say this on the stream. I don't think there's. They interviewed me for a podcast, and I don't think they ever released it.
Are you serious? That's awesome. That's the best, dude.
I'm still, this is making me sweat. I'm too embarrassed.
You should email him.
I'm too embarrassed to reach out to him, but I'm positive they never released the podcast that I recorded.
That's the best, dude.
Because I don't know, it wasn't good enough.
You got to stay on that side of the microphone. You should ask him for a copy of it. You should get a copy of it, and then put it on yours. Put it on here.
I tell you, if you I don't need too much fuel for the raging fire of self-doubt that burns within me. But if in case I were running low on wood to burn to get me through the winter, that's one of the things. That's a solid maybe two face cord of wood chopped up.
Yeah, that's a good one.
In the out in the shed, that can keep that fire burning throughout the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's nice. You should do it. How long ago was it?
It was like several months ago.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and I could tell, like, I mean, okay, so they're both like they're both like PhD science guys, right? And they were asking me certain things, and I'm like, well, first of all, like I didn't have that technology to track that. Like when I was making lager cartridges, like they're asking me things that would require like certain measurements and whatever. I'm like, dude, to be honest, I mean, I don't have stuff like that. You know, I couldn't reliably say, and I wasn't going to like just blow smoke. You know what I mean? Like I could have been, I just could have started making stuff up.
Next time, just make it up. Yeah. Just make it up.
then I'll actually get my stuff released.
Just make it up.
Maybe that's the best path. But also, okay, so you end up making a 1020 wort, and there was something that you did that I thought was interesting, and maybe it's just maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's just a difference in build. But if I'm remembering correctly, you split this beer between Munich and base malt, correct? Or Munich and Pils, correct?
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Heavy Munich. Yeah.
Heavy Munich. Okay, and I'm assuming you wouldn't normally make a Helles that is heavy Munich. Okay. So talk to me about conceptually why you went that direction with it.
Color wise, and flavor wise. One of the things I had read was you're going to want to use more of like a Munich malt. It might have been an Ashton Lewis thing. Maybe. Okay. I watched some of his stuff because he's been doing a lot of NA talks and things like that. The guy that likes you a lot, Ashton Lewis.
I can't tell.
Your number one fan.
I can't tell.
Think he's just being funny. I think he's being funny. I don't know.
It could be. There's a couple times. Well, and so somebody sent me a message the other day on, because listen, people send me Instagram messages, and sometimes I can't tell like where it's coming from. Like, because sometimes it sounds really sarcastic. I had some guy get in my DMs the other day and just start blasting me. He had like a question. He saw me do something in a reel, and he goes, "Why did you do that?" And then I explained why, and he goes, "That looks like some homebrewer bullshit." And I'm like, I'm like, first of all, I have no idea who you are, and you're just gonna roll into my DMs hot like this. Like, what's happening? Like, I'm not going to talk to you. Like, why?
Right.
What possesses you to just talk to somebody you don't know like this, right? So something can be lost in translation. I felt bad the other day because I almost took offense to a message somebody sent me. And because it's weird, text is weird, right? Yeah, and you're never looking at somebody's face. So they said something and it sounded sarcastic. And so I just sent back a question mark. And then it ends up they were being genuine. And so then I had to be like, oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes people say mean things to me on here. So I had to make sure. So sometimes it's lost in translation. But I do. Sometimes I feel as if I've caught a few strays from some people that I've never met in real life. But maybe people are just having fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're doing it. They're having fun. You gotta have fun with it.
But he was saying the NA stuff.
Yeah. Color wise for the end beer, and especially diluting it with water.
Mm-hmm.
The kettle volume with water is going to take that. When I'd spoken with you, it was the same thought process of
sure
not wanting to have the beer look like water.
Yes.
So you got to use that.
Mm-hmm.
Munich does it. It doesn't give a crazy. I mean, Munich malt is a great malt for that. So
sure.
it was mostly Munich malt and some pills. I don't know exactly what the ratio was, but I think maybe some. Oh, it was Munich pills and some kind of like a dextrin malt. Because you got to be. It needs body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. So that was it. I think it was probably maybe like 50 or 60 Munich, and then 25 to 20% of each of the other two pills.
Yeah. I did when cartridge first got purchased by Saucy. One of the first things I did was they were doing a collab NA brew day with Brewdog over in Columbus. So I went over there, and that was wild because the wort that they were making it wasn't like brown as in like an American brown ale, but it was definitely on the other side of amber for sure. Because they were going to be leveraging, they weren't going to be doing reverse osmosis. I think they were doing some sort of arrested fermentation, maybe, or something. But I know there was also dilution. So they were diluting so much that they had to start off with a brown beer in order to get a yellow beer. You know what I mean? So that was one of those things that first was like a light bulb to me, right? Rock, that looks so gorgeous, man. First of all, plate and frame, baby. That looks great.
Yeah.
That looks great.
Yeah. I mean,
from where I'm sitting, it looks maybe like golden. Is it paler than that? Yeah.
No, it looks. I'm looking at the screen. That's what it looks like over here.
Yeah. How long's it been in that glass?
Since we started, so an hour and 20.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And it still has foam like that?
I give it a little swirl off camera. Little magic.
Oh, did you?
Look at this. Look at
like, what do you think this is? I'm no rookie.
No, I'm just kidding. The head retention is beautiful on this. The things I do.
So, all right. So first of all,
on top of it, but yeah.
I tell you what, man. There is. I was just looking at the other. You sent me a picture of that beer, and I know filtration can be a pain in the butt, but there's some beers that I think they just need it, man. It's so beautiful. It's so bright. Just from a presentation standpoint. So, that looks gorgeous. So, you get this beer in your kettle, you get it diluted, 30-minute boil, get a little bit of hops in there to balance, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like maybe a 15 IBU or something like that.
Sure.
I mean, it's relatively low.
Sure. And then you're knocking this thing out to your fermenter. You're talking higher 60s pitch temperature that you used for this.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not fermenting it at lager temperature because it's
sure.
not a lager
and
strain.
Then what did it look like in the tank? What were you looking at? What were you tracking? Because we're used to like dropping, tracking density drop and everything like that.
One of the major things was the correct pH going into the fermenter, so I had to add a bunch of lactic into there to do that. Because there's very little pH drop because very little fermentation. So pretty much the aeration was minimal. I did it like a vice beer or something. Sorry, am I boring you, Adam? Is it?
Dude, I'd stop, Brock. How dare you? I try.
This will be right to you, Adam.
I've been working. I've been on this computer since 5:30 this morning. I'm sorry, really? Brock. Yes, of course, baby. I'm on my grind, baby. Holy what do you think this? And no, I'm not boring. How dare you, sir? The reason, I'm so indignant because that I felt bad. Okay.
Oh no, it's beautiful. I love it.
We're fighting.
I've had like
Continue.
2 pots of coffee. I'm trying to get ready for you here. No, when I put it in the fermenter, aeration small because I didn't want any. I didn't want it to get shitty or something. I don't know. Just in my brain, I think it's not going to ferment a lot. Doesn't need a lot of oxygen. So light oxygen, and then set it to whatever, 65, 6, 7, something like that, and then put a blow off tube on it. And I'm not expecting a whole bunch of bubbles coming out of it because it isn't going to ferment.
Yeah. So does it ever bubble? I mean,
it bubbled a little bit. I mean, a couple, blue bloops here and there. I think I've sent you a video of the.
Yeah.
So
you've got a long history of sending me blow off videos. But...
It sounded like that. It sounded just like that.
Yeah.
You got to turn it up loud. And then I pretty much just took a reading a couple days later, 4 days later, and it was down to wherever, like 10-17, I think is what it was, and then just kind of capped it, set on it for another couple of days just to make sure there's no infection or something crazy going on. Took another reading, it was the same, and then just crash. And apparently those beers you can make and drink within like a week because there's no diacetyl rest. There's no you're not doing anything to it. So, but I waited about 2 weeks or so to do that, and then I filtered it through the K80, which is a 0.8 micron deal.
Okay.
Which is like they say it's like a microbial kind of filter.
Yes.
Like it's at the tail end of that. I mean, they got ones that go lower than that, but like the Hellas, I do like a 100 that when I did an 80.
Yep.
On because I don't want it to go bad, or I want it crystal kind of thing. So did that and then just carbonated it and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
So
What did you feel? And this was one of the things that I was most curious. Did the beer drop well in the fermenter? Like if you pulled the cold sample off the side, did it look like Hefeweizen? What was it, hazy? Did it drop brighter than that? Because really, I'm interested in the flavor difference in that beer pre-filter and then post-filter.
That's one of the few beers that I did taste prior to. Like I don't taste wort. I think tasting wort is like it's not needed. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to tell you anything.
Mm-hmm.
Fermenter wise, I did after a while I wanted to make sure it didn't have an infection in it. I feel like, am I wasting my time? I don't want to throw it through a filter if it's somehow something happened, which I don't know how it would, but just in case. It didn't taste. It tasted promising. That's what I remember. Like it looked like it looked like a Hellas. It wasn't super hazy. I mean, there was some in suspension, but it wasn't super crazy.
Yeah.
And it had been cold for a week or 5 to 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it was normal as far as normal goes. It tasted like everything was, am I going to go to the next step in this or do I just drop it out of the tank?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like, okay, we can move on. And then, ferment it. Okay, it fermented. We'll move on.
Yeah.
It drops. We'll taste it. Okay, doesn't taste like shit. We'll move on. We'll filter it. Taste. We'll move on. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it was because, I mean, I've never made an NA beer before or a low ABV beer. That's just not something that, I thought I'd really do. So, and it was an experiment. Always, it still is, that's how we looked at it. So if it went bad, I just dropped it. Luckily, I didn't have to. And after filtration, it looked beautiful. It looked like that. I was like, oh shit! Like the color was fantastic. I was expecting something a little lighter.
Yep.
But the color came out. I couldn't be more happy with what happened with it. And the flavor, it is really good. I wanted to send you a bottle, but you don't drink anymore.
I know. Well, I mean, gluten. Yeah. It hurts me. It hurts me.
Don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it hurts me that I can't. That's what I'm that's what I'm saying. Especially this. I mean, this is what I really miss. I mean, that You know what I mean? Like this is
Yeah.
the beer that I want to taste. Just because it's it's yours, it's cool, it's something to talk about and troubleshoot and appreciate. So one of the things that I was interested in was, I know you got like a full workup by White Labs on it. It is certifiably under 0.5%, which is very cool. And I saw that the pH was just south of 4.4. So I kind of looking at the different metrics of this thing. What would you, if you ran this beer back again, what would be some of the metrics that you would tweak or change, and how is it being received in the tap room?
Pretty good, pretty well. I don't know if I'd roll back anything. I think the ABV at 0.32 gives me a little bit of leeway in maybe possibly adding a little more just to give it more flavor or something. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know if I do anything different, to be honest with you.
Sure.
I don't know what I would do. I'm looking at the same thing I send you. I mean, the ABV is 0.32. There's 62 calories. I don't know how I can get that any lower.
Yeah.
The balance of the body of the beer and everything works well for. I mean, it's a Helles style.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if I do anything different. I think I just make it again and try to not be as frantic when I'm making it, because that brew day it's a short one.
Yeah.
I mean,
I bet.
30 minutes. The boil's 30 minutes. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? You know what I mean? It's super fast. Like I'm used to being able to mash in and you put the water. I have a two vessel system, so I throw the hot water over into a tank, and then I can kind of chill a little bit, and then I lauder.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
This one it's
it's moving.
There's no rest, so
Yeah.
I would just take it a little easier.
Yeah.
So,
One of the things. What would I do? No,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's. I mean, the thought, the first thing that my mind goes to with everything, especially when you're talking about something gently flavored like this, is I would always be. I would love to get that beer in front of me, and whether it be in a pint or whatever size, or just like a liter, a half liter in front of me, and then dose it. So it's roughly 4.4 right now. I would dose it down to 4.3, 4.2, 4.1, 4, and like 3.9, and then I would do sensory on all of those. That's
what do you think that would do? Would you make it more crisp?
That's always one of the things that I'm interested to see. So I know I used to mess around with my light lagers like that, in particular, and just to know, first of all, just because I'm curious and I want to know. I've worked at some places that have made light beers, light lagers, and they're in the can at 3.9, and then there's some places where they're 4.4. And I've tasted them where I'm like, oh, like there's once I see the pH measurement, I'm like, dang, how is that? Sometimes the balance of the beer is not always told in the measurable numbers. You know what I mean? So I do like to, so I don't know. For me, I'm just curious. And that's one area where when it's all said and done, you have your beer. That's one thing I can still mess with and get like a little bit more information out of. Because I have found at some points for me when there were some beers that I liked where I pushed the pH down a little bit more. Like I think there's a period of time where I was running the rice lager I did at like 4.4. And then we ended up pushing it down to like 4.2 or 4.1 even. And I just liked it better there. Like I felt like I felt like it snapped a little bit more. You know what I mean? It was just a brightness thing. So yeah, I don't know.
I was a little apprehensive about it being too. I didn't want it to taste like lactic
acid.
You know,
Yep.
and I did kind of wanted a fuller body on it, I guess, or I just having nothing to fall back on with no alcohol, no real body, no nothing. I think the 4.4 works. I think if it was a little bit, sorry, I'm checking my battery here. It's dying. There we go.
You're good.
I think that if you were to taste it, I think you'd probably think that it was about where it needs to be, because it has a.
For sure.
It works. I think at the 4.4.
Sure.
Because it still has it's malty. It's not wort.
Sure.
It's sure. Some kind of body and a soft roundness. I like a beer that has a soft roundness to it. I'm not a giant fan of the. When I was at Bastogne, I think I played with pH a little too much, and I would hit them pretty aggressively with lactic and stuff, and they had an edge, and I think I was overusing that stuff, and I don't know exactly what they would get down to. I just know what this fermentation. This is into the fermenter. I get them down, to 5.2, 5.0, whatever, and I think they would go low, but they had they finished like when you were done, you knew it was gone. This one I wanted to make sure that it had some body without being too acidic, because with nothing, with a very thin line of of anything to play with, that acidity I think would come through pretty fast. So I don't know, 4.4 I'm happy with. I think it might be too tart.
Okay, interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know. I'll send you a few bottles and some lactic, and you can.
No, but that's just how my brain works with my process. You know what I mean? Saying, definitely not saying that it's the wrong pH for it or anything, but that's just one thing that I always mess with post, because it's something I can still do. You know what I mean?
Do you like your beers low like that? Are you a low? I know you said on that one specifically, but I mean, when you were making beer all the time, were you hitting? Were you adjusting post fermentation?
I was. I would kind of build it out to. I was pushing my lagers closer to 4.2, 4.1. Toward the end there at Cartridge, and it was mostly just to see, just to tweak it. You know what I mean, and see what I was getting out of it. How because sometimes a lot of times it would be a Whirlpool edition where I would push that down. And then obviously on my way to HeatX and fermenter. And the funny thing is sometimes I would get a reliable, measurable drop on the fermentation side, and then sometimes if I could adjust it down 0.2 in the kettle, but then the yeast strain just would still just take it down to the same spot. You know what I mean? Sometimes it feels like, and I have adjusted on cold side as well. So, but that was just one of those things that I would mess with and tweak. But yeah, I've ran them anywhere from 4.4. I mean, the one thing that I really did have to do, and I actually think it's important, is when you're aggressively dry hopping. A lot of people, you can be slinging out beer that's 4.8 or 4.9, which is way out of range, obviously. And because that dry hop is pushing that pH back up, so you do have to come back and knock it back down again. But I don't have. Yeah, exactly. So I don't have tons of time left, but I do want to touch on your most recent GABF medal. Can you tell us a little bit about what that beer is, what it won? What was it? It was Belgian category, correct?
It was a beer de garde style.
Nice.
Which is a Belgian French style ale category. There's beer de garde, and I think Belgian blonde is in that. It's A and B. Yep, and it got a silver. at the GABF
Awesome,
for
man.
Beer to Guard.
Nice.
Um,
What does that bring your total number to for World Beer Cup and GABF?
I counted them today because you had asked me. I don't know if
Yeah.
you remember when we were in where the hell were we with Gerds and
Yeah.
what the hell was that? I don't remember where it was.
Where was
I
it?
think
Was
might have
it?
been
Was it
Colorado or something.
probably Colorado? Yeah.
It wasn't Indianapolis, but it might have been Colorado. I don't know. Might have been Nashville. I'm not sure. Who cares? But I remember you asking me and not knowing, and it kind of sounded like a douche move, like, oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
So like, well, shit, just like it sounds.
Who can even count?
It sounds douchey, so I figured I'd count them in case you asked, and because I didn't know, which sounds douchey, but it's 10 JBF and 7 World Beer Cup, and then
Awesome, man.
the brewer the thing, which is
Yeah.
one. So
That's
8
awesome.
Beer Cup, 8. I don't know. It's something like that. It's either 10 and
Okay.
10 and 7 or 10 and 8. I don't know.
Sure.
Who's counting?
So yeah, so Beer to Guard. So Beer to Guard.
Yeah, Beer to Guard.
Is that like a style that you really enjoy, or is that one that you just kind of made over the years, and have been tweaking?
Yeah, it's not necessarily a style that I like. I run to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Belgian beer, but it's not. I mean, I like a Double is good. A Beer de Garde is fine. It's pretty much just like a Beer de Garde it's like a Belgian amber, really, which is there's no frills. I mean, it's
Sure.
it's just it is what it is with some amber flavor when it comes to the color, and then you have like some however much Belgian character you want from yeast. So you put those two together, and then you have a Beer de Garde.
Sure.
Not too highly of anything. It's not highly hopped. It's not high phenolic, high blah blah blah, all those terms. Relative, it's like 6.25%, 6.5%. It's stylistically. So no, it's a beer that I made for competition because I wanted to make it for competition, and I had a spot to fill on the taps, and I figured, what the hell, do a small batch of that and just do something with it, and that's really what it was. Nothing crazy. Not my favorite beer, not my least favorite.
How many beers did you have in?
Just one, just the one that I won.
No. I'm like, bro, I've never known you to enter one beer in a comp.
Just the whatever. If I won something,
actually, I packaged it off, and I'm like, and I looked at it, and I'm like, dude, I think this is the only one I need to send in.
This could win something, I thought. No, I like 6. I think 6 is usually about it. I mean, it's.
Did you think of those 6? Did you think this was going to be the one? If you had to, if you were a betting man and you had to bet on what beer, it said one beer is going to medal, would you guess that it would have been the Beer de Garde?
No, this year I had an Oktoberfest in, and it's the best Oktoberfest I've made to date. So I put it in there, and I thought, well, that's got a chance.
Yeah.
Just because it was perfect to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that one I had hopes for. Like if I thought the name was going to come across, it was going to be for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the odds are astronomical because it's like in the 150 whatever entries or something. So pretty small or pretty large. But that, and then I have a triple that's won. I mean, it's won
numerous times.
Everything, yeah. So that one's always one that I go, oh, okay, I put that in there. That should possibly, that's a rely on that one to at least have a chance. I don't expect anything to win because, I mean, it's impossible, really.
Sure.
It's pretty bad of winning anything, but no. The triple that I put in the Oktoberfest I put in, I expected to have a chance. This one maybe just because of the there's not a lot of entries in those categories.
Yeah.
So I put that in there specifically because the odds were better.
Sure.
Because I've won before with that, and I won in different competitions with that beer. So I'm like, okay. I mean, I'll do that throughout the year. I'll enter competitions, and then towards the end of the year or the beginning of the year, I'll look back and go, that's one went well with different judging notes and things like that.
Yes.
So I'll do it that way. But other than that, no, I didn't have expectations for much. Just to You get them back, and then you've seen judging notes of the guy who the one that won this year, the beer to guard. One guy was like, yeah, this beer sucks, and the other guy was like, this beer is great. So it's stupid. It's stupid.
I had one, and I mean, listen, judging, it is what it is. It's blind, everything like that. But my favorite thing is when you get, I forget what competition it was. I sent a beer to a competition, and I got 3 sheets back on it, and 2 of the sheets really, really loved the beer. Like really, really loved it. And the 3rd sheet was just completely ridden with acetic acid. And I'm like, that's not true. Like, you know what I mean? And it's not just,
that's the guy or girl that sunk your chances. Is that one shithead with a loudmouth who knows everything? Yeah.
It's like, listen, first of all, I know I didn't send a flawless beer. Like I know how I would judge this according to this thing. But it's not completely overtaken with acetic acid, okay? Yeah. But that's always how it is with judging, though. It's a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
I think there's a gene for people who taste smoke and everything.
Oh yeah.
Like there's got to be something because my Oktoberfest went to 2nd round, and went on past first. You only get the first, the first line of judging, and the 2. I got 3 sheets just like you did. The first 2 or whatever. 2 of them were, holy shit, you created the wheel. Like, this is the best beer I've ever had. They're like stunning, amazing, great representation. Like, crystal clear, great.
Yeah.
And then the other guy, it's like, or girl, I don't know. It's all digital now, so you can't tell who's, Usually you can tell if it's chicken scratch, it's a dude. If it's, But, this person, the marks were not as good, and then at the bottom of it said, I don't know if the smoke element, like a hint of smoke. Did you put smoke? I'm like, you fucker. There's no smoke in here. There's not a chance of smoke in here. Not even.
It is obviously the sensitivity thing is that's a real thing. A challenge for me with Belgian beers is the phenols in those beers can turn plasticky and be very intense for me very, 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 very quickly. So I get that. But also, like, it's also my responsibility as a taster to, like, know that that's the case. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, so if I'm picking up like some background smoke here, maybe it's your palate too. Like if you're hypersensitive, because you can be hypersensitive to something.
Mm-hmm. I've had the same judge do 2 different beers back 10 years ago or so. And each one of them was a smoke thing. He said, I taste smoke. And I contacted Chris Swerzy, at the place. And I'm like, this guy, I want you to look into shit and see if everything he says is smoke, because I got 2 beers, massively different things. I mean, really, what do you got? I mean, you spend a year and thousands of dollars, and you got some person who's like,
everything's
I taste
on
buffalo
fire.
Wing sauce. You're like, asshole, what are you doing? And the judging, it's supposed to mean something, but I told just before I did a Saison beer, and it was on a farmhouse style, and he said, what's a farm? I think it was a dude. What is a farmhouse ale?
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah. That's the category. What is a stout? Like, you shouldn't be.
It's actually on the sign. Look, yes.
Yeah. So I mean, they're not flawless and stuff, but I think it's important to talk to the competition managers of any competition. If you get notes back and they're ridiculous, you probably should say at least like, hey, this is ridiculous, but I'm not complaining, but next time I'm going to complain. I'm just making you aware now.
I love it. Well, listen, brother, this is a lot of fun. We need to jump on an actual phone call here sometime soon. But I appreciate you coming on. It's always good to talk beer. You always make me laugh. As far as podcast stuff, folks, this coming Monday, I'm going to have Tanya Cornett from Up Liquids. They actually just won Brewery of the Year in their size category at GABF. I'm going to be looking forward to that. Keep an eye out for that. Things might be a little bit wonky here around the holidays, but I have 2 more interviews coming up in December. One with Ashley Rose, one with Mary McDonald, both of the Ohio Craft Brewers Association. We're going to be talking about their roles with the organization and kind of previewing the upcoming conference in January. Anyways, Rock, I love you, brother. Love to the family. Hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, as always, I appreciate it, man.
I love you too, dude. I'll talk to you soon.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right.
You will. All right, dude.
Have a good day, everybody. Bye.
This feeling's deeper than an ocean, with a groove that's beating harder than my heart. So baby, now just hear me out. No, don't fear this emotion, 'cause you can't stop the fire